My last day as Christian is today. If I knew
Pax Christi Nigerian Catholics. On the 14th of January 2026, the Our Lady of Assumption Cathedral, which is the cathedral of the Catholic Diocese of Nnewi, was formally dedicated. The cathedral project had been under construction for years and is now active as the seat of the Bishop of Nnewi. However, the celebration turned controversial when Sir James Louis Okoye, a member of the Knights of St. John International, publicly protested during the event. In a viral video, Okoye expressed deep dissatisfaction, claiming that the diocese did not properly honor the late Senator Ifeanyi Ubah, whom he said was a key contributor to the cathedral's construction, and alleged this omission was disrespectful both to the senator and to the church. Okoye was visibly upset, removing his knighthood regalia and emotionally renouncing his Catholic faith and knighthood membership at the ceremony. Now, first off, reports confirmed that the late Senator Ifeanyi Ubah played a significant role in funding and driving the cathedral's construction effort since its early years, a project that started years before the dedication. Now, while Okoye claimed the diocese failed to acknowledge Ifeanyi Ubah's contribution, the Catholic Diocese of Nnewi has officially stated that Ifeanyi Ubah's role was recognized in prayers and public mentions, although expectations on the level of honor differs. This disagreement touched a nerve among members of the Catholic community and the public at large, especially because such church building legacies are matters of honor and tradition in Nigeria. Following the incident, the Knights of St. John International issued a formal expulsion letter to Sir James Louis Okoye, dated 21st January 2026, stripping him of his membership and privileges. The order cited violation of its constitution and alleged apostasy, stating that his public abandonment of faith violated the principles of the knighthood.
my last day as Christian is today. If I knew
In Nigerian Catholic culture, major donors are traditionally acknowledged publicly. Okay, we're not arguing that, right? Especially during dedications. This isn't about vanity, not at all. It's basically just the cultural thing, right? Traditional recognition is given, right? Culture, cathedral projects in Nigeria often take decades. Benefactors are remembered as partners in faith, all right? And Senator Ifeanyi Ubah was widely believed, whether rightly or wrongly, to have funded a very large percentage of the project. When a figure dies, the dedication moment becomes a final public opportunity to honor that contribution. From this angle, any silence or perceived understatement feels like ingratitude or a rewriting of communion memory. Now, for those who share this view, the protest was not about ego, it was about legacy. But this is where the church is standing. Church buildings are dedicated to God, not to donors. From the church's perspective, a cathedral dedication is a liturgical act, not an award ceremony. Excessive recognition risks turning worship into spectacle. And the church insists that benefactors are remembered through prayers, records, and internal acknowledgements, not necessarily dramatic public mentions. The diocese also maintained that Senator Ubah was acknowledged, not in the manner people expected. So the issue here is, or the problem rather, is expectation. Was it done? Yes. but probably not in the way these people expected. Right? Now, on the side of what is expected versus tradition, in many Catholic dioceses, donors' names are usually engraved on whatever it is they contributed, right? Families may be called forward, and the bishop may openly recount who made what possible. Now, so many people came to the dedication expecting the same script. When that didn't happen, it turned into resentment, and resentment turned into interpretation turned into accusation. And in moments like this, perception quickly becomes truth in the public mind. However, Catholic tradition is intentionally conservative here. What the church fears is setting a precedent where money equals prominence, turning sacred moments into donor competitions, and allowing emotional pressure to dictate the liturgy. But from a theological perspective, the altar must not become a stage. Alright, so even if expectations are widespread, the church is not obligated to meet them.
My last day as Christian is today. If I knew
This is where everything escalated. Now, when Sir James Okoye protested publicly, many people felt he was saying what they were afraid to say. Right? So, his supporters looked at his action as courage and loyalty to a benefactor. Now, what the church took seriously is this. The protest happened inside a sacred space, first of all. Secondly, it happened during a solemn liturgical event. It happened, thirdly, during or while the bishops were still present, okay, though they were inside the cathedral while this man was outside. And most importantly, it included a public renunciation of Christianity. That last part is what scattered everything. Okay? So, in Catholic teaching, public renunciation equals apostasy. Apostasy is not just emotional, it's not just an emotional speech. It has canonical consequences. And at that point, the issue was no longer about whether the church recognized the Yoruba or not. It became about faith, authority, and order. Okay? So, the question is, was his expulsion justified? From the Knight of St. John's National constitutional and canonical standpoint, membership requires being a practicing Catholic, first of all. Secondly, public apostasy automatically violates that condition. Number 3, knighthood is not just honorary, it is spiritual and moral. Number 4, allowing him to remain would undermine discipline and identity. So in that sense, the Knights of St. John's National did not expel him for protest. They expelled him for renouncing the faith publicly. Legally and canonically, the order acted consistently. However, what is very important is this. If you have a grievance, a manner of presenting that grievance is what matters. Did it necessitate him renouncing his faith? In my honest opinion, that was a step too far. The knighthood is known for decorum, gentlemanly conduct. Okay, if you have a grievance against somebody, there are ways those grievances can be presented. Standing to renounce your faith, that was a step too far, my honest opinion. Okay, you may have your own thoughts, that's fine, right? But then what he did was a step too far. Okay, so you can share your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, I hope you have picked a thing or two from what I have said. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you soon. God bless you.